Hi guys, for this semester I have been given a project of establishing my own edible garden. I feel so excited and interested when I got this assignment because this is my first time handling my own edible garden and I know that I can gain a lot of new knowledge from this experience. We were given a watermelon seed as main crop, so I started this project with a quick research about how to grow a watermelon. So from what I get, the watermelon love hot condition, sandy loam soil and need abundance of water to grow. And it also need up to 4 to 6 feet of plant spacing. I also searched for the possible pests that usually attack the watermelon, and it turned to be a lot of pests such aphids, twister beetles, pickleworms, spider mites, and many more. So, from my observation on my plot, I can identify several problems that was happening in my plot and its surrounding. In terms of pests, I have found a bunch of ants and termites inside my soil area. So the new solution for this problem is, after my area is fully tillaged, I let the soil to be exposed to the sunlight for several days so that the ant and the termite might get killed naturally because of the hot condition. On the week 1, I used soap solution to my plot for 3 times, and by the day 4, only small amount of ants is visible. I decided to pour a pail of hot water to the remaining ants and termite spot, and by the day 5, the problem is solved. To sustain my soil element of biodiversity, I purposely apply chicken dung and green waste from weeding to my plot as my soil preparation. Chicken dung contains a lot of urea, while green manure contains a lot of nitrogen that can increase the fertility of my soil. Throughout the 10 weeks, I use water-soaking wheat solution and catfish water as my daily organic fertilizer. Lastly, I use an organic fertilizer of brown head that can help promote new organisms to the soil biodiversity as well as supplying nutrients to my plant. Soil biodiversity is very important because it will help the plant somehow to get maximum nutrient in the soil as well as important for the breakdown of organic matter in soil. Next, for your information, the nearest water source is very limited, but I need to have a system irrigation that was efficient and practical from my edible garden. So, my new idea is I made a furrow irrigation system by combining 3 channels of water to become one long channel, so that it can capture rainwater and distribute it equally to all of the surrounding seedbed. I also can save my time by leaving the pipe water at the end of the water channel until the channel is fully filled with water. In the meantime, I have time to do some other practice like weeding, mulching and fertilizing. I also don't have to irrigate my plot every day because my water channel can hold water up to 2 days. I also did mulching to my plants so that the moisture in the soil release slowly, especially during hot day. Sufficient amount of water is needed for plant to grow maximally and undergo various processes throughout the day, especially during hot day. It is also important to keep the soil moist for the soil microorganism. This is how I manage to sustain my water element of biodiversity. Other than that, we were given watermelon seed as main crop. So, for other supporting plant, I choose the plant that suit the climate and the soil condition of the agro farm too. And I choose pumpkin as high commercial plant, long bean as legume that can modify nitrogen in air, ulam raja and Brazil spinach as mixed crop to confusing the pests from attacking the actual plant, and onion as repellent. I'm also gain the benefit of sunflower from the nearby plot as the pollinator attractant. And I plan to plant the onion a bit late from other crop because onion only takes a few weeks to grow compared to other crops. I purposely do this because I want the onion plant to perform its function as repellent once the crop is well matured. I have learned that each plant have their own role in supporting each other. This is how I manage to sustain my plant element of biodiversity. I sustain my animal element of biodiversity by avoiding to kill beneficial animals such as bee, ladybug, and wasps in my plot. In sustainable organic farming, we are forbidden to use any base chemical products, so the pest control using natural enemies is very important. Other than ant and termites, there are several pests I noticed in my plot, such leaf borer and Sisusa spedix or brown moth. As for controlling these pests, I use manually hand picking and kill. I also use other initiatives such as using yellow sticky trap. Not to forget, my mini watermelon also attacked by fungal disease, so as precaution, I built the stacking for my long bean crop far from soil because soil can be affected of various soil-borne disease. My initiative for my edible garden is I use soap solution 3 times on my plot once the ant and the termites are detected. Secondly, I purposely apply chicken dung as my soil preparation to increase the fertility of my soil before I started to plant crop. Thirdly, I made a furrow irrigation system by combining 3 channels of water to become one long channel that was efficient and practical. Number 4 is I use an organic fertilizer of brown head that can help promote new organisms to the soil. Lastly, I also built the stacking from my long bean to make sure that it has less contact with soil. This is a sum of my yields produced from my edible garden. This is where I refer in order to achieve organic edible garden. I use the material that was given by Mr. Kide, and I also regularly asking advice from other horticultural lecturers. I include the link of my other reference in the video and in the description box below. That's all from me. Thank you.